Thank you for staying with us. And right now, it is the time to open the phone line to talk about certain issues that is affecting us in our life. And today's topic is none other but the impact of indecent dressing in our society. A lot of things have been happening. We've been seeing a lot of things on social media which have made people to think that, is it really worth it, when it comes to social media? Even though people like us always try to pick out to bring out the advantage of using social media.
But at the same time, we can't help the disadvantage of it.
But yes, well. it's there. So decency in dressing refers to the thoughtful and respectful choice of clothing, also that aligns with social norms and cultural expectations. It involves considering the context, the setting, and occasion to present oneself in a manner that reflects modesty and appropriateness. Now, this varies across cultures, but generally emphasizes on dressing in a way that avoids causing discomfort or offense to others. Funny enough, I'll even say even to yourself. Now, while promoting a positive and respectful image, and there is always that saying, dress how you want to be addressed. So a lot of that is happening in our society. That's what we'll be talking about today, Fatima. The indecency impact in our community, in our society, I would say, has gone beyond, for us. So we've seen a lot of situations happening, how, sometimes, even though it shouldn't be so, people get, violated, based on what they're dressing. I am a huge advocate of just because someone is dressing this way, if they should say no, that should be the most powerful word. But then, yes, sometimes people wear this kind of things and it brings a lot of disregard, disrespect for them. And especially when it comes to the public figure now, one thing that we like, whether we like it or not, is that people, the younger generation, always look up to people that are known. They call them the public figures. So there is things that they do, decisions that they make that affects the generation. And most times when it comes to trending of things, changing trends, they always are the trend setters. So whenever they do something, then society starts echoing it little by little, and before you know it, people just get used to it.
Like you rightly said, you idolize people and you want to imitate, you want to be like them. And that's a very, 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 very huge problem. You should have your own style, you should have your own way of doing things. You don't have to idolize people, even though I know there are some people that have good values that you may want to, pick from. But then, like you said, some people actually feel they dress this way because that boosts their confidence. Because, there's this thing with low self-esteem. When you have it, then it's a huge problem. And that's why you see that some people go as far as, doing cosmetic surgeries to fix here and there. And then the dressing sense also comes with it. Because you feel, oh, you now have the right shape, so right this, right, let me show it off. And then you start wearing tight clothes that, people would be wondering why you're showing off your bodies and stuff.
But when it comes to indecent dressing, let's not forget, it's not just women. We have the men also. So you can go ahead and call the number on your screen or send us WhatsApp messages.
Okay. So we already have a caller.
All right.
Good morning.
Good morning. Are you with us? All right. It's saying we lost that call. Please go ahead and call us and tell us your thoughts on the impact of indecent dressing in our society these days. This is something that is happening. It's everywhere. Recently, we saw the skit maker Maraji come out to talk about it, and she said people are making it as though it is okay
normal
now.
Thing
but it is not okay.
It is.
It's not okay for a woman to dress half naked and act as though it is okay. It is not okay for a man or a guy to wear just a suit and live. There won't be any shirt.
The bicep,
exactly. And it's unbuttoned. So the shoulder is everything. It's so,
and then sagging, or,
sagging.
then you wear a suit and then you're sagging, and then
at what point did we become so comfortable with a man wearing shorts to a public place? At what point? Now it's a style. Says who? It's indecent. Like, at what point did we even get there?
Okay,
right, so we have a caller. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, thank you for joining us. Your name and location, please.
My name is Desmond. I'm calling from Garab, Nasarawa.
Okay, thank you for joining us, Desmond. Go ahead with your thoughts.
Yes, my thought about the indecent dressing is that the indecent dressing is most especially is women that is dressed indecent. So I want a change. They should change because it's not good.
All right, Desmond, thank you so much for that amazing contribution. I mean, he just went straight to the point.
Yeah, what do you expect?
Not good.
That's what and that's the truth. It's not good, is it?
No, it's not. But one thing about indecency, yeah, it's not just, you know, I know he said mostly women, but there's a lot of things we give a pass to the guys that it's making them do more.
You know, my concern is not even men wearing shorts to public places, because they are men. You know, it's okay for them to wear shorts.
No, it's not okay. Actually,
you know,
it's not okay. I cannot believe you just made that statement. They are men.
When I say shorts,
another caller. Good morning. Please turn down the volume of your TV. Are you with us? All right, I think
so I was making a point, Sumaya. You should always allow me to land.
No, please.
You can't keep doing this to me. Do you know that? You know. So we are going to have a debate on this one day.
There is no need for debate.
I don't. Actually. As far as the short is not too short. They are men. I feel it's okay. Even to pray, men can actually pray with shorts that are beyond their knees. So it's fine. That's one. Have
you seen men with shorts though outside?
I have.
I'm talking about the shorts.
That's why I said it depends on what how short it is, right? So, but then what I'm concerned about, it's not even the shorts, it's the men dressing in women clothing. That's
all right. Good morning.
That's one thing that I have issue with.
Good morning. Are you with us? Please reduce the volume of your TV. We can hear ourselves through your phone. All right, please, we would have to let you go because we cannot, have a proper conversation when you want to hear yourself on TV. You just need to stay away from your TV or tone down the volume. That way we can get to hear you. So when you call and we can hear a feedback, then would have to let you go. And you know how the traffic is on the phone. So take that time, use the opportunity of, having able to reach us to talk without wanting to hear yourself. But then anyways, we're talking about decency and the impact of indecent dressing in our society. I mean, every one of you would say they've witnessed one or two situations happening. And there's a picture I would want to point out when it comes to some things. A typical example, one that has been eating our society up, is how they have sexualize women to a point that a musician would be singing. Sometimes he would even wear a sweater. That's how covered he is. But then the women in the background would be naked, which is
because you can't call it half naked because
exactly,
they are naked actually.
Exactly. So it's something that is really now making it as though it's okay. If you want to sell, then you need to bring a woman and remove her out of her own decency and modesty in order for someone else to make the money. I mean, the men are cashing out on the women, and later the women will still go to the men in order to give them peanuts, because now they're saying a woman should bring something to the table. So there's a lot of things that are happening.
Well, there are situations that, I have been around some of these musicians and I've seen them do this. You actually pay them before they even go on set, and some of them actually make a whole lot of money exposing their bodies. But then those videos are going to be there for as long as they are going to be there, even after your life. Your kids, your grandkids will come and play, and they're like, "Is that grandma? Is that grandpa?" Yeah.
I don't want to imagine that. All right, we have another caller. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Your name and location, please.
My name is Pastor Robert. I'm in Abuja.
Thank you, Pastor.
So much for joining us, Pastor. Go ahead with your thoughts.
Thank you. Thank you for this very, very exciting topic, indecent dressing.
Of course.
Somebody called in and make a conclusion that ladies are most guilty. I want to support him, but not all ladies.
Of course.
Especially the so-called ladies on the streets. Now, sometimes they go almost
start naked. And the people that talk about gender doesn't go to that area to address issues. They keep these staunch women that talk about the fine representatives for the women in the House, in the Assembly, in the National, in the Parliament. They never talk to the ladies who are becoming very indecent on the streets. They talk about gender. They never address real issues, and that is not fair for us. You get to some area, these eyelashes they add turn some ladies like chimpanzee. You look at beautiful lady, but as soon as you add those extra things, it becomes a little like an ape. And they don't address it. I'm so glad with you that you are really doing a very wonderful job this morning. That some of our ladies, they are beginning to become unnatural. People should be natural. People should be clean. You see fingers. I wonder how they go to the kitchen. Some of them married to cook for their husbands. The fingers are too long, painted, so if it is stuck with dirt inside, it makes them dirty. So if you are well dressed, it is a popular palace that you are dressed the way you dress. So they dress with extra fingers that is becoming like that of elephants or that of monkeys. I don't know where they get this thing from. We should not be copying. We should not be copying the white very blindly. Cut your nails neat. Keep it clean. Some go to the kitchen these days with long hair, almost touching the food in the kitchen. I even saw a program on the television, somebody teaching people how to cook, and the hairs are touching some things that is doing. That is not decent. If you are in the kitchen, you should dress well. You should put on your apron and look neat and bring neat food for people to eat. So I think.
But Pastor, what about people wearing, indecent clothes, apart from, the extra accessories that they tend to add on? What's your take on that?
Yes, I also agree with you. Some people dress, even men have, some men have to blame too. They sag their trousers. Like I tell you now, when I'm on the streets, when I see some people sagging their trousers, I use wisdom to talk to them. Say, my friend, sorry, your trouser is almost falling off. I'll just go and hold it and draw it for them. So we become offended. But some will agree with me and look at me and smile. I do it very often. You don't dress and make yourself shabby. And this sagging, people don't know that it is slaves in the prison in US that doesn't allow them to go with their beds into the prison. That started it, and we are copying it foolishly. This day you see people also removing all the hairs on their head. So their hair, the natural skin is squeezed. They will still remove all the hair from it in style. I don't know where they get this thing from. I think our people should become natural. Our people should become decent in dressing, in appearance. We should be neat. I think that is my take. Thank you very much, you good ladies there.
Thank you so much, Pastor, for that message, a very wisdom message that you shared there. I mean, he made mention of a lot of things, and I got reminded of Cardi B's nails when he mentioned the nails and the cooking.
Actually,
and how far it goes. But then indecency, it's a huge, situation happening. Now people feel I can just wear a jacket and here it's open. I'm talking about both the men and the women.
Why are you so concerned about wearing the jacket?
I'm talking about, we saw how the ex-BB Niger housemates, Elebaye wore something like that as well. Here, inside there was nothing, and there was just a jacket here, and it was really cropped. Yeah. And it's like, oh, it's the new style, it's the Gen Z.
It's what's trending.
If we're leaving our Gen Zs now to feel that is okay, then there's going to be a huge problem in the next future.
We have another caller. Good morning.
Good morning.
Your name and location, please.
Good morning.
Mohammed Modibo calling from Gombe.
Thank you, Mohammed.
Thank you for joining us again, Mohammed. Go ahead.
Thank you very much for having me on the program this beautiful morning of today.
Thank you.
Yeah, let me start by repeating the last statement made by Sumaya. Dress how you want to be addressed. I like that statement, and it tells a lot about the integrity of the person who dresses in that manner. Let me dwell about this topic from two perspectives, from the religious point of view and the societal point of view. Let me start from the religious point of view. It is condemnable in the house of two major religions we practice for a person to dress indecently, especially ladies that dress half naked. I don't think there is any religion that enjoins its adherents to dress in an indecent and unconventional manner. So here religious leaders have a lot to do here. They need to come out and tell their followers the truth.
Do you think they are not doing enough?
They are not doing enough, so to speak.
But what about the parents?
I don't want to. Yeah, parenting has collapsed. I have said it times without number on many platforms and this platform. Parenting has collapsed. Parent doesn't care about inculcating the right moral values in their children. Our spiritual and moral teachings has gone. We don't know where we are heading to. Someone is saying that the Western world has emulated their forefathers and succeeded materially. But in our own case, we are neither here nor there. We have forsaken the ways of our forefathers, and in our effort to emulate the Western world, we are not even doing it correctly, the way it should be. So we are in trouble. A lady must know that when she dresses half naked, walking on the street, the moment she makes some people to become sexually attracted to her, it's not only sinful, it is a transgression against Allah. And it is there is a repercussion about it, and it's one of the main causes of rape in our society. And for the men who used to dress and expose their chest, wearing trousers, taking it down their buttocks, this is indecent. This is immoral, and it is not in line with our societal norms and values. So when we look at it from the societal point of view, the society we are living today is being shattered. The moral values has gone. We have gone and getting the moral values we inherited from our forefathers. We are not emulating the moral values and teachings of our society.
Indeed.
We have forsaken it, and in our effort to emulate the Western world, we are not doing it correctly. So we have to go back to the drawing board and do the needful and tell ourselves the truth before it is late.
Indeed.
If we want to realize a sane, clean, and healthy society, definitely it is incumbent on all of us. All hands must be on deck for us to get out of the woods before it consumes all of us. That is my little take. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mohammed. Thank you, Mama Madibo, for that one. I mean, all hands on deck. Fatima, you remember while we were growing up, I mean, it was all hands on deck. A neighbor would see you dressing somehow and can easily reach out and spank you and say, go back home and change, you know, what you're wearing and all that. So there is all that situation. But then these days, it's not like that at all. These days, everybody is to your own. You hit someone's child and that person would definitely sue you, or you see police the next day in the front of your house. So there is that situation as well. And one thing we definitely do not realize is that parents cannot do parenting alone. You need assistance from other places. But then society has become normal these days, Fatima. Nowadays, you would see parents even dressing their kids in, you know, quite short, you know, a bit of indecent kind of things. Now, normally you're thinking these are kids, so they could get away with it. But then,
so thank you for even saying kids, right? Because I have a huge issue with it. Not just the dress. You could actually see a child of a girl of 5, 6 has a nose piercing. At what age? What does she know about nose piercing? Why are you introducing your daughter, your girl child, to such activities at that early age? Now, and then another thing that, you know, we have to look at is the impact of social media that promotes these dressings. You see how women are exposing their bodies on social media, and we have, you know, a whole lot of people, you know, on social media from the age of 10, 14, 15 now have phones. You know, some parents start giving their kids phones at that early age. Because I've seen people that, you know, give their children phone at the age of 5, 6, even if they don't know how to operate it. The house helps will help them to operate. What do they know?
It's really sad. I mean, and go on social media. Recently, there is something I came across recently. A lady who is not even Nigerian, you know, made a video. I think she's in the US, and she made a video of what is happening, and she picked out under 18 TikTok users, influencers in general, not just TikTok, influencers, are making videos and of how they are dressing. And these people started influencing at the age of 13, 12, 10, and they have always been dressing like that, and it's indecent. So right now, we need to know that even the Westerners are regretting their choices to this point for us to even think of dropping ours in order to get their own.
So we have another caller, Sumaya. Good morning.
Good. Yeah, my name is Godwin Piggy. I'm calling from Delta State, Pattern.
Thank you so much for joining us,
Godwin. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is indecent dressing. I feel the problem is from the university. When children start to go to university, they will dress where they like in the school. And when they dress like that, by the time they come home, their younger ones will copy from them. The society will copy from them. And when they go back to school, go to some churches, the pastors will not advise them because they need members. Instead of them to tell them to dress proper, they will now collect them because they need members, they need money. Instead of them to advise the girls to dress well, most of them will dress very short. They call it whether bomb short or what is that, I don't know. They will not even put on pants. Some of them will wear pants and the pants will be catapult pants. So I don't know what is wrong with all these people. Instead of them to advise them well, they will not advise them well.
But do you think even if they advise them, they will pick on the advice? That is the question.
Yes. You see one thing, for example, in the church, when you talk to them, they refuse. Go to the church, maybe the other pastor drive them too. They will dress proper. Even in the school. By the time you suspend them in the school, they will dress proper.
Yeah, we've seen schools make decisions like that. Sometimes they will stop you from the gate if you're indecently dressed to enter. But has that really curbed, you know, the situation?
Yeah. You see, I believe the lecturers do their own, parents do their own, the society do their own. All these things will stop. And by the time the government if government is saying they can stop it. If government to stop it, they will stop it. Like most of the boys now, they used to sag. Maybe because men used to patronize this improper dressing, they too want to sag because most women pay them to make love to them. So those things, it's not proper.
Indeed. Thank you so much, Catherine. I appreciate your input on this topic. I mean, he came back to, you know, what Modibo said, which is all hands on deck.
And even what the pastor also said.
And other people. So, yes.
Yeah.
All right, we have messages.
So let's go through our WhatsApp messages, because, you know, I've been wondering what's happening, but then we have lots of it. So let's take a look at what His Royal Highness Mohammed Baba Idanoku Sekyunwase of Lokoja Zaki, as usual, sent to us today. I think it starts from inappropriate dressing. Inappropriate or indecent dressing has had a significant impact on society, particularly in recent years. There is a growing concern that exposure of sexual explicit or suggestive content, especially through the media and social media, can have a negative impact on individuals and society as a whole. The concern has led to a debate over the role of dress code in schools and public space. Some argue that dress codes are necessary to protect the modesty and decency of individuals, while others argue that they restrict freedom of expression and may even be discriminatory. And then he still went ahead to say one of the main arguments in favor of dress codes is that they help to promote a safe and respectful environment in schools and other public space. Proponents of dress codes argue that certain styles of dress, such as those that are revealing or provocative, can be distracting and leads to inappropriate behavior. They also argue that dress codes helps to maintain a professional and respectful environment in the workplace. On the other hand, opponents of dress codes argue that they can be discriminatory and limit the freedom of individuals to express themselves through their clothing. They argue that dress codes may disproportionately affect certain groups, such as women and members of minority groups.
Indeed. Oh my God, there is a lot His Royal Highness actually dropped in this, pinpointing a lot of situations happening in our society about how this affects a lot of people, and majorly he actually brought the indecency, the negative impact all of this have in our society, which is something that we need to push, you know, to change the narrative. Because one thing that we've known, even though in the Western world it's become natural, there are still a lot of people that are fighting against that particular situation there. But we have more messages for you this morning. If I would take more messages.
Oh, because you do more of the call taking, right? All right, so let's look at this message. Good morning, I am Karima Tubello from Kubwa, Abuja. Indecent dressing is not even part of our culture, Africa. Secondly, it affects women, ladies in
mentality, yes.
The mentality and their integrity, in the sense that they cannot be accepted everywhere, because that way
because of the way
that they dress is the way you will be addressed and treated as well.
Okay, moving on. She's choking a bit. Coming down to health, not healthy because a woman's body needs to preserve. To be soft and tender, too much of exposing is not good. Moreover, to both major religions in Nigeria, it's not acceptable. Indeed, I would definitely have to look at the fact that we are a religious country, so there is that to even move with. But then when we even say we are going to like just keep the religion in the side, there is something we call modesty. You know, there is class. And one thing that people are trying to make now, they're trying to make sexy the new classy, but it will never work. You know, there is classy is classy. If you want to look really good, you're supposed to dress sharp and clean. That's why any dressing that you feel that you would do, and you cannot really go everywhere with that dressing, then something is wrong with that dressing. In your mind, in your heart of hearts, you know that, right, Fatima? When you dress and you tell yourself, oh, I can only go to this place, I cannot be seen.
So you know the guilt is there that you know your dressing is inappropriate.
So you cannot go to business places to meet serious-minded people with what you're dressing.
Because, you know, this thing you just said, there's a lady that I saw, you know, on social media, a video that was trending. She was wearing bomb short and just a bra, and she went for a wedding. And all eyes were on her, like,
of course.
And she was so comfortable,
and
you know, showing off.
Even this could happen in the Western world, and they will still not be okay with it. I mean, you go to USA and wear that kind of thing that you just described to a wedding, people would definitely look at you like, you're abnormal, you're not doing it right. So no matter how much we try to show as though it is okay, it is not. And all those and you know, the major pictures that they're posting on social media is tacky. Please stop.
The major concern is even the kids that are on this social media, because the large turnout of children are now on social media because they want to, you know, see what's trending so they could pick up. They want to become famous. They want to imitate this person and that person. So it's a major concern for parents, especially, you know, to guide and to cross-check what their kids are doing on their phones and social media. You know, to look at the pages they go to, check their wardrobe, see what they have, because some of them can actually hide, you know, some things and take out and then dress in a way that you don't even know your kids are dressing that way.
Do you even know what people are doing these days? They make the decent one look as though they are the shabby ones. That's what they do. You dress decent, you meet with your clique of friends who are scantily dressed, and they look at you and act as though they are the reigning, they are what is trending. This is me, but then for you, it's not happening. You're like, why would you dress like this? You're embarrassed. So things like this also, it's like peer pressure that is pushing kids to do this. So you need to know that it is okay. It should be an accolade to yourself if you're still dressing decently in this modern age and time. And you need to also make sure you have your strong voice to also impact the life of other people in terms of this. Well,